All right, here we go. We are live. We are back here in Orlando. We are on the back nine of our 2 days of podcasting. My voice is already starting to crack, but it has been a great experience. My name is Matthew Joseph, the co-host of the Stronger Together podcast, and been thrilled to be here both before the event and then at the event with my co-host. He is going to be joining us. He is just brought so much to this podcast. He's meeting people, he's seeing people. So for those of you who don't know, we've been doing this now for a few days here. It has been wonderful. And then before, you can watch that back to see all that we've been doing. Here are these impactful voices. And as we have said multiple times, we get to learn in real time from impactful educators. And Nick is back, everybody.
I'm here. Thumbs up. Watch the fireworks, everyone. This is how excited
Let's see it.
I
Let's
am.
see it. Where'd it go?
No, they're not happening.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Bring Nick's.
The people in the
Nick
audience
brings the
are very
fireworks.
confused right now.
Well,
They don't see
Nick,
it.
thank for making time for us.
Oh,
You're so busy.
No, the thank you goes the other way, my friend. Thank you for having me to have these conversations with people I've either known or people I had no idea about the amazing things they were doing. Like I said it before, but Stronger Together, 100%. Like I am stronger after every single one of these conversations because I know it's something I can take back to my community, to teachers I know, and share. And it's a game changer. It impacts learning all around the world, and that's something that Matt, hopefully you take a moment and pat yourself on the back for, because I know you don't, because that's who you are. But we will be doing that consistently for you because this relationship with School AI and supporting the podcast has been wonderful. And so please, if you're here listening, swing by booth 2714 to check out some of the awesome sessions. Becky Keene is literally on her way there right now in 25 minutes to do her session. And we're really excited. And if you are listening to us as a recording later, jump to schoolai.com, create an account, and we can talk all the things about AI and supporting learning. But we have an awesome other guest, not me, just as a co-host. We have another amazing guest.
Let's bring him right in now. Austin Levinson, how are you today?
Hey.
I'm doing well. Real happy to be here with you, a new friend and a friend I've known for a while.
Yes, so for those who don't know your work, share a little about what you do and the work that you're involved in education.
Sure. Well, I'd say the first and foremost work is I'm a father of two, 9 and 12-year-old, and I toggle back and forth between a father, between a 21-year educator, a lot of experience in gifted and talented program development, and now the director of learning at Megaminds. And all that work, I think, what it has in common is critical thinking. It has the human element, it has teaching thought, it has being present, it has the fact that the struggle and that failure space is golden.
So go ahead, Nick.
So how long have we known each other? We've known each other
18 months ago, right before FETC last year.
Right,
I reached out to a few people just getting into the EdTech community. And you sent this little digital hub, like, yeah, come on by the booth, wanted to say hello, and it welcomed me to the community like a few people had, and it was something I'll never forget. I appreciate it.
It feels like, because of the conversations we had, it feels like even longer than that. It really does. And I think, again, it speaks to, again, the Stronger Together, where as educators that are in the ISTE, ASTE community, and tech in general, it's so important for us to be open arms to people, especially if they are new to the community. It's easy to block people up. That's the easy way, to not respond to an email, to ignore it, like, oh, I promise I'll see you later or whatever. It's easy, right? It's hard to keep your arms open and say, yes, let's make time. Let's meet. And Matt, as you talked about earlier, be intentional about it. I'm going to set aside time to address these people that have emailed me that want to work out with me. And so I love when you talk about like the critical thinking, the aspect of it, like with what you do. How are you able to get that message with like your background? Like, you know, how does that play a role in reaching the larger EdTech community since you like Andrew?
Well, I think curiosity connects to what you said before about being open to people, and it connects to that. And I think that if we're open to new ideas, new frameworks, then we can assimilate and connect those to what we believe in, then all of a sudden you've got community, you are stronger together, you are actually growing with one another. I think that's the difference between listening and hearing. Right? I hear what you're saying, Matt. I'm just waiting for you to finish so I can tell you why my idea is better. That's not listening. And active listening is a much more active role. It's an open role. And so I think that that's a big piece of it. And as we move forward in our journey with AI and education, keeping that listening ear open and that human side open is going to always be a part of it.
Yeah, so you have a session on Sunday. The first two words are future world. Tell us what that in your lens means.
Well, I think that it's interesting because you connect future world. People talk a lot about future skills, yet I think we need to talk about now skills, present skills,
Sure.
and human skills is a term that's thrown around a lot. But I think that future world, people talk about how students are going to be in a world that they're going to be in when they graduate from college or from grad school. We have no idea what they're going to need and no idea what they're going to be in. That's actually not true.
Okay, tell me more.
Hot take, everyone.
Hot take.
We know they're going to need to establish criteria for evaluative decision making, justified decisions. We know they're going to need to communicate and persuade people or listen to people and change their opinions. We know they're going to need to really parsing out what critical thinking is, evaluate whether it's AI outcome, evaluate somebody else's idea. And so these are things that are never going to change, and they're going to evolve, but they're never going to change in terms of their necessity. And so I think if we look at future world, that adaptability piece, which is kind of an umbrella for all those, will always be at the forefront.
Well, I think you talked about skill sets, and I'm going to agree with that hot take.
There you go. Double take.
Double hot take. Not as hot because I didn't say it first, but yes, as a teacher, as an instructional leader, coach, there are skill sets that are transferable across generations, right? Critical thinking is critical thinking. Whether you're learning to start a fire for the first time or build a wheel, to figuring out how you can leverage AI to automate things so that you can personally guide people. We're getting about the human element, right? Like my hot take with this is that utilizing AI actually creates more human moments, not fewer.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can automate and have AI build me these elements, and I can spend more time one-on-one with my students, that's more human elements. There are some people that talk about utilizing AI so they can have more time for grading. And I'm like, that is the worst way to use that free time, which is to section yourself off to do more grading. I don't know what teacher's like, oh, thank goodness I can grade more. No, utilizing that time like I did in the classroom before joining School AI was, wow, I can go around and touch base with every single kid now because I'm not being chained to all of these important tasks, but tasks that can be done or automated in other ways. So how do you keep that human element involved with what you're doing?
Well, I'm going to think more about a long time when I was in the classroom, but it also relates to what I'm doing now. And I'm curious to know how this looks in your role in your district. But when I had a literacy coach that said fidelity to the curriculum. And in my mind, and in private, I would say this, not in public because I don't want to make her feel bad, fidelity to student needs.
Sure.
And that's where it is. It's about the humans. It's about getting around. And so if we want to save time, we want to shift the time, but the degree to which we can respond to human needs and student needs. And that's something that I have now the privilege of. I found a company that I really connect with, and ideologically, I'm able to now scale that, and we're able to respond to students' needs in special education, in the CTE space, in communication and adaptability, in critical thinking, and be able to respond to those needs with now next steps. It's formative assessment, guiding instruction, but now it just looks different over time.
Yeah, and I think even pushing it further, I know you do a lot of work with gifted and talented. How do you see some of the AI or technology weaving into some of the gifted and talented programs?
So I can go back to a project I had a privilege of working on out of NUVU, which is a school out of Cambridge, a design school out of Cambridge that expanded their reach beyond just their own school to some partner schools around the world. And I had the opportunity I was actually the first teacher around the world to pilot something called Collaborative Futures. It was a big PBL that we did where we were using ChatGPT and Midjourney to develop a futuristic screenplay in which the protagonist had some kind of ideological challenge with an ethical dilemma with AI. And we were working in Midjourney. This is 2.5 years ago. So this is early on. And one of the students, they were working with Midjourney, he was getting more and more frustrated. Some others were getting frustrated. And he said, "This sucks."
Okay.
And I went and wrote the words on the board, "This sucks," closed the marker and went to the back of the room. And the 7-10 seconds were deafening. They were palpable. They were intense, but I did not want to intervene. And eventually They were looking at each other. They were looking at me. They know me well enough to know that I'm not going to come in and rescue them.
Sure.
I think it's a big piece, that letting that struggle sit. And eventually he said, not to me, but kind of to the room, if this sucks, then we suck, because we're the one prompting it. And that led pretty quickly to, Austin, could you help us learn the parameters of Midjourney? Can you help us understand how to better prompt? But the inherent motivation came from them and wanting to complete the project. It wasn't something that was external.
And I think that's where you get that transference of learning and getting students to own and comprehend kind of their own path in learning. And as you kind of evolve in the work you do, how are you seeing students own that more often?
Well, so I'm no longer working with the gifted and talented students. I left the classroom a couple of years ago, but I still see it in some other ways. And I think that I was working with a group of students in Newark, New Jersey a few weeks ago, and we were talking about career exploration. Most of career exploration is not exploration, right? What is exploration? There's an active role there. And this is a student who was interested in going to healthcare. She'd seen a lot of Grey's Anatomy, and she went into a healthcare module that we have in this 3D immersive environment. And afterwards, I had a chance to interview her, and she said, I don't want to work in healthcare anymore. I wanted to, but through the module, I was able to actually feel what it felt like in healthcare. And healthcare is hard.
Sure.
Right? If you don't have a real sense of that, and so I think a lot of people are going to go down the wrong pathways because they don't have that chance to feel. And so she was actually very happy that she was able to deselect the career. And I think that's an important piece of career exploration. It's not just, oh yeah, we help people, we do this, everyone wants to do that. But now there's district and school resources wasted on that. And so I feel like she had an aha moment that we were able to provide. And that was beautiful for me to help her see that I don't want to do this, which is part of her path.
It's too many ideas. My brain's trying to process right now. Like, where do you see this going in the world of EdTech and AI, like right now, like down the line? Like, what does that look like in 6, 12, 18 months for you with the work that you're doing?
That's a question that I think has a lot of different nuance to it.
Right, yeah.
And I will say that, and I'm very familiar with obviously the work you're doing as well, and I admire a lot of the work that you do. I think that there's going to be continued evolution in the way that students are interacting with AI. I think there's going to be much more intentional and conscious choices being made about how they can interact with it in ways that will, I've heard a lot about cognitive offloading, but ways over time, I think many of us in the space are developing these ways of how do we infuse AI in effective ways that becomes part of the learning. If you saw Nick Polisky's new book, Thinking with AI, he talks about AI shouldn't cause cognitive offloading. It moves the thinking. It doesn't remove the thinking. And he has some great ideas about that. Recommend taking a look at that.
Wow. I like that a lot. Well, I appreciate you taking some time for us. I know we've been trying to connect to make this happen, but we're thrilled to be able to get you in here in Orlando live, ISTE. I say that because it's usually here. But ISTE here. How many times have you been to ISTE?
This is my second year.
All right, second year. Well, I hope you come back for a third. Are you coming back for a third?
In Boston.
In Boston?
In Boston next year.
So I got a whole bunch of conferences coming up.
There you go.
I'm real happy to be able to connect. I feel like we just got started and we're...
I know.
It's
a little sample size so that everyone gets a quick learning opportunity and then take it with them and apply their
Where
knowledge.
can people find you online if they wanted to learn more about what you're doing?
LinkedIn's a good space. I love bantering with people and giving points and counterpoints, agreeing and disagreeing.
There you go.
Austin Levinson on LinkedIn and at GoMegaMinds.com as well.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time and spending it with us.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you, Matt.